All right, so I am breaking apart. I'm not as strong as I used to be. I'm not holding it up as I did. I'm going through ego death and spiritual awakening and spiritual warfare, and it's breaking me down faster than the year and a half of therapy, or not therapy, but healing, somatic healing that I've been going through. And yeah, I just, every day it's just more and more stuff that I'm letting go of. I realized that I started maladaptive daydreaming as a kid to give me what I wasn't getting in real life. I didn't have parents and stuff like that, so I maladaptive daydream scenes in movies where the girl is this or that, and maybe she is on the stage singing and everyone's staring at her, and I feel like I'm being seen because I'm her. And it worked all my life, and I am closing the chapter. I I'm like a battery. I need to be charged constantly. I die fast, and so my maladaptive daydreaming, I need the ego boost. I need the confidence to keep going, to live with my protective shell is that battery. It needs to be charged or it dies. It constantly needs to be charged, and my maladaptive daydreaming charges it in the hypothetical way. But it's just, I always think about scenarios where I'm getting stared, or people staring at me, and I get ego boosts from the scenarios in my head, and I'll replay. I realize that I know I'm not facially attractive to the people I am attracted to. So that just means that I have to, humble myself and be realistic to who I need to start looking at, which I'm not ready yet. But in high school, kids would, they'd always want like supermodels, and then regular girls that match them, they, would say they're ugly, and then, they leave and they're all with those girls now. And I was talking to my sister about it the other day, because every one of her classmates or people we grew up, are with just average people that they would have said was ugly back then. And I kind of realized that, they got humbled by life. And I realized that because I live in this protective shell, that I haven't got humbled yet. And so the people that I like is not the people that are in my range, some people that I can get. And so I'm working on humbling myself with that. And I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so I have a nice body, but I don't have a traditionally nice face. And so the people that I attract off my body, they look at my body, gives me the validation because they're staring at my body. But they don't stare at my face. And I just never, put the two and two together. It's sad that they don't stare at my face, but I didn't realize until like a couple days ago that I'm just not attracted to them. And then I just go back in my mind and I'm like, okay, so all these guys that I am like thinking that are in my league, that are giving me attention, is because of my body, not my face. I can't attract for my face. So then it's like I wear skimpy clothes to keep attracting those people because I know my face can't. And I was like, if I stop wearing skimpy clothes, what, it's gone. And there's this guy at work that is literally, he's very, very sexually attractive to me. I can tell. Yeah, I wear really skimpy clothes. And I know that he's not attracted to my face. He likes Spanish girls, and his girlfriend's really cute. But I kind of dress for him because I need validation. And I realized that if I dress modestly, I won't get that anymore. I won't get any attention. All the guys at work give me attention because I have a big butt and a skinny waist, and they're all black. And, for most black guys, that's, big butts is, that's what you want. And so that's kind of hard to realize that if I stop being skimpy, then I'm not getting attracting anyone. And if I like who likes me by my face, by my personality, you know, it's humbling because you know, it would be a lot lower on the scale. So, yeah, I'm humbling myself. I'm still, every day I'll, reset and think, oh, they're staring at my body. And it still hasn't caught up with my, brain yet, but I'm getting there. But that's very humbling. So it's like I'm now looking at ugly guys and I'm just like, well, these are the guys that are in my league. And I had a very elevated or inflated, view. So it's kind of hard. And then, yeah, so I need a lot of that maladaptive daydreaming, hits of being seen, being given attention, ego, being conceited. Like, so when I'll walk, I see guys staring at my body all the time. So then I will replay them staring at my body, and it gives me that conceited, like that boost. And I'll walk around with my chest high because I'm like, because before I did it, connect, they're just looking at my body. That doesn't mean you're a great person. That doesn't mean you have a good face. And so it gives me like that confidence boost. And my protective shell just needs a lot of that or it dies. And I realized that I am going through ego death and a spiritual awakening and all that. And so it's just like, I don't want to live in my protective shell anymore where I have to constantly give myself these boosts. I just want to keep it, tear it all down or stop charging it, let it die and just leave it there. And so today, towards the end of the day, I, am really, really working on not maladaptive daydreaming, not giving myself the boost. And this is the real me. My whole life I had low moods. I had major depression or minor depression syndrome, but underneath everything, I was always sad or depressed. And I am getting down to what I felt my whole life. And I am comforted by it because I'd rather feel this than feel nothing. But then like my snobbiness, my ego, my my protective shell that I had to build to protect myself, because I didn't have parents telling me, oh, you're pretty. I had to tell myself that and then build this version of me. And it's hard because I'm trying to stay in my face. I have depersonalization. So growing up, I was not around Black people. It's all white people, and which is nothing wrong with that. But it's just, as a Black person, you need to be validated by Black parents or, about the difference in features, and I wasn't. And so, what was I saying? Yeah, so I've created, every time I looked in the mirror, I'd hate myself. I'd hate what I see. And, so I don't know how, but I created a version. I have depersonalization, but a version of my face that I'm comfortable looking at, and walk around with that version. And so I walk around with a version that's not my face. It's altered, so it's more Instagram-like, but then I will act on what the version that I've been walking around my whole life. So I think I'm a lot prettier than I am. So then I give off the delusional energy because I'm going after people and thinking they're flirting with me because I think I'm cuter than I really am. And so, and I don't think I'm ugly. It's just I'm not standard attractive that I thought I was. And so I am just tearing everything down and learning to live in my low depression, flatness. I know that I have to go through this. This is the fastest way. This is the only way. I have to go through all of this, and I have to face my shadow. I'm trying, I'm doing a lot of shadow work, and looking in the mirror and not seeing a strong person, because I don't want to be strong anymore. So I look in the mirror and I see all my shadows, and I accept that, and I want to walk around with all my shadows and not this protective version that I had to create to survive, because I don't want to keep surviving. And the model I built was perfect. My dominance, my RBF, my strength, my everything is perfect for, you know, how I lived. It helped me survive so much. But it doesn't help me thrive. I can only survive. So it's just like I have to break all of this down. Some things, like I was at work today and a girl was staring at me because everyone at work thinks I'm weird, which would have killed me back then, because I know deep down I'm not like normal people. I am weird, but that still is like a trigger word. But now I'm learning to accept I am weird, and they all think that I am gonna, you know, I'm super quiet and I'm super still. If I move too much, you know, the people in my row will, like, you know, they're two Puerto Ricans, so they're very stereotypical mental health, not mental health, but like paranoid and crazy. Like they actually are the stereotypical, like most Puerto Ricans, you know, they're just like, you know, you just say it's stereotypes, but for these two, they're stereotypes, but very paranoid. So I, if I move too much, I can see, you know, this one girl, this one older lady, she's 50, but she'll look and she'll just stare at me, you know, but I am just going through and just taking insight and just, you know, going through the darkness. And this is such a hard moment for me, but I had such a good thought at work today, and it was just like, I am a moth. I'm in my cocoon. I'm going in my cocoon, and you know, I have to shed everything to get in there. And then once I get in there, you know, that's when the real healing starts. And then eventually I will be a butterfly. And so it's just like, you have to go through the steps. And so I'm going into my cocoon and really just going into myself, and just realizing that right now I do isolate myself, but it's not, I would say solitude, because it's not like I'm in a room and I don't talk to anyone, I don't leave. I go to the beach, I go to stuff, but I don't talk to people. I hang out with myself, because right now I don't have the energy to talk to people or have any friends. And I think that I am all I need right now. I have very good intuition, and the Lord's also been helping me, and I'm very analytical and just think about everything that's going in my mind, and like just you know, yeah, I'm just doing it all myself, and through that. And also I use ChatGPT a lot, but you know, I just don't think that I need distractions of being around people. I need every second to just be with myself, enjoy my company, really take insight, and just think about why I do all this stuff, because my whole life right now is just patterns of what I created back then. So I have to like really break that and go through everything and understand, you know, do I keep this? Do I change this? And so I really have to become everything for myself. I have to bring everything inside. So right now it's hard because everything's external, because I maladaptive daydream to get attention, you know, to be seen, to, you know, if I'm vulnerable, I think about sex and I feel like I'm being like, and I'm that person. I feel like passionate sex, and I feel like I'm being loved. And so, yeah, so I don't know how I'm gonna do that.